Welcome back students to online learning, Gyan Manshi Vidyapeeth online education. So students, in today's video lecture we are going to discuss the third poem from our main textbook Flamingo. The name of this poem is Keeping Quiet. Students, earlier also we discussed about this poem. Let's revise this topic again. Students, title is always the reflection of the theme, the reflection of the central idea. Here, the title of this poem is Keeping Quiet. So, from the title itself, we can have the clear idea about the concept, the theme, the central idea of this poem. That in this poem there is something about quiet. There is something about peace. So, actually, first we should ask the question to ourselves that what is the requirement of the peace? Here, why actually does the poet say to us, to the readers, for keeping quiet? What is the reason and what is the requirement? Through this poem, actually the poet conveys this message. The poet even asks this question to the readers about the quiet, keeping quiet. So students, before we begin the discussion about this poem, let's have a clear idea about the concept, the theme, that the entire poem actually deals with the message of keeping quiet. ये जो पूरा का पोएम है, वो पूरा का पूरा पोएम जो है वो एक मैसेज कन्वे करता है हमें, और वो मैसेज है पीस मीन्स क्वाइट. Quiet means here it is not only about the words. सिर्फ वर्ड्स की बात नहीं है कि कोई कुछ बोले नहीं इसलिए वो वहाँ पे जो पीस होती है, जो साइलेंस होती है, सिर्फ उस क्वाइट की बात यहाँ पे नहीं है, सिर्फ उस पीस की बात नहीं है. देन व्हाट इज समथिंग एल्स दैट इज ऑल्सो रिलेटेड अवर पीस ऑफ माइंड. यहाँ मन की शांति की बात भी की गई है, बिकॉज यू नो द पोएम रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड द टाइमिंग ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर. ये पोएम जो है उसका कंसेप्ट, उसका जो टाइमिंग जो यहाँ पे मेंशन किया गया है वो वर्ल्ड वॉर के ड्यूरिंग का है. सो एक्चुअली द एंटायर वर्ल्ड रिक्वायर्स दिस पीस ऑफ माइंड बिकॉज देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी, पेन inside the heart of the people. That's why it is said to keep quiet. इसीलिए पोएट ने ये पोएम कंपोज किया है जिसमें हमें ये मैसेज मिलता है पीस को रखने के लिए, शांति रखने के लिए. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज द पोएम कीपिंग क्वाइट. ओके, सो क्लियर अबाउट दिस थिंग. नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट द पोएट, द जनरल एंड ओवरव्यू, द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ दिस पोएम. Okay, it is not going to be asked in your exam, but before the learning of poem we should have the idea about the poet also. Pablo Neruda, this is the name of the poet of keeping quiet. 1904 to 1973. It means right now the poet is not alive. Is the pen name of Neftali Ricciardo Reyes Bastedo, who was born in the town of Parel in the Chile. Neruda's poems are full of easily understood images which make them no less beautiful. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. Students, you may make underline also, this is very remarkable thing. Even the people, the artists who are actually nominated for the Nobel Prize, that is also great, very significant thing. And here this poet has already been awarded with this Nobel Prize in the literature in 1971. So that's why it's really important. You may write also in exam. In these poem, Neruda, talks about the necessity of quiet introspection and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. Because if there is mutual understanding, proper and genuine understanding among the people, then this is the only way that there can be peace among the people. If we are not having these kind of understanding with each other, with one another, we won't be able for having this peace of mind. That's why it is very significant for anybody. It is significant for all the people. Before you read, what does the title of the poem suggest to you? What do you think the poem is about? Students, in this question, the central idea, the concept, the theme of the poem has been asked. The title because signifies the theme of this poem. Okay, we have to expand the answer. Okay, now let's begin the poem. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. It is about counting. Now we will count to 12 from 1 to 12 and we will all keep still. Students, why is it said here about keeping still and about counting and all? Because here it is mentioned about silence. Because we need to make it totally silent, quiet. And that's why it is said that we will count up to 12. It means we will give some time so the people can get ready. We actually give the time to ourselves. That's why we can become ready from our mind for the peace. Now, we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. Stability. Doing nothing. No activity, no speaking, no words, nothing. Still. Stable. That is said here. Why? Because now there are so many activities, but here the activities are not in positive manner. अगर सिर्फ एक्टिविटी की बात होती तो एक्टिविटीज तो अच्छे भी होते हैं ना, इनफैक्ट बहुत अच्छे होते हैं. तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ पोएट ने क्यों हमें डिनाई किया है? बिकॉज हियर राइट नाउ इट वॉज एक्चुअली इन दिस पोएम द सिचुएशन ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर एंड पूरा वर्ल्ड है जो पूरी अशांति से फैला हुआ है. कोई भी पीपल है उसको मन की शांति नहीं है. दैट्स व्हाई टू से दैट वी विल ऑल कीप स्टिल. लेट्स कैरी ऑन. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. See students, for once on the face of earth. Actually, is earth having any kind of face? No. That's why you can say that here in this poem the figure of speech personification has been used. इसलिए हम अभी बोल सकते हैं कि इस पोएम में personification figure of speech है, उसका इस्तेमाल, उसका यूज अच्छे से किया गया है. Let's not speak in any language. Now, there is not requirement to speak even a single word, and that's why it is said that let's not speak in any language. It's not about any particular language. Okay, now let's not speak in this language, then in another. No, let's not speak in any language. It means let's not speak. It means let's remain silent. Let's be quiet. That is it here. It stopped for 1 second and not move our arms so much. Now just stop. Let's stop all these things. This worry even, the actions also, the activities also, the dates also. Let's stop everything for 1 second. Then what to do? See the next line. And not move our arms so much. Let's not do anything. Let's not speak in any language. Let's stop all the actions, the deeds. Then, not speaking even a word in any language. And let's not even move the hands. We have to stop the movements of our hands also. It means here it is said that stop all the works also. Suppose you are moving your hands, it means you are doing something. The actions, your work related tasks. That's why in that sense actually it is said and not move our arms so much. Let's stop all these things. Let's come out from all these things. Let's keep quiet. Totally quiet. Peace. इस स्टैंजा में हमें सब कुछ भी बंद कर देने की बात की गई है कि हमारे सभी एक्शंस, हमारे सभी डेट्स, जो कुछ भी हम एक्शंस कर रहे हैं, हमारी जॉब भी वगैरह कर रहे हैं, वो सभी चीज़ों को यहाँ पे स्टॉप कुछ देर के लिए कर देने की बात की गई है. क्योंकि अगर हम स्टॉप करेंगे अपने आप को, कुछ करने से हम अपने आप को टाइम देंगे, देन ओनली वी विल बी एबल टू कीप क्वाइट. तभी हम अच्छे से शांत हो पाएंगे, हो सकेंगे. अगर हम कुछ ना कुछ करते रहते हैं तो हम अपने आप को कभी भी शांत नहीं कर सकते. सो इन दिस सेंस द पोएट हैज डिस्क्राइब्ड. नेक्स्ट स्टैंजा. It would be an exotic moment, even surprising and strange also, the quite different, without rush. Just imagine the moment when the entire world becomes silent. All the people are still, stable, not moving, not rushing anywhere, not doing even anything. Just keeping quiet. Imagine how the world can become like this. It would be an exotic moment. Wonderful, extraordinary, unique. Even we cannot imagine right now in nowadays. Without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. In a sudden strangeness. Why? Why is it sudden strangeness? Of course it is strange for us because even we don't know how to stop. We don't know how to keep quiet. We forgot all these things in our routine life, in all these hurries and worries. We forgot all these things. So when the whole world will come on the same point of keeping quiet, all the people will remain silent only, still, stable, not doing anything, not moving the hands, and just silent and quiet. Just imagine how wonderful moment that can be. That, in that sense, the poet wants to convey this message to the readers. Let's see the next stanza. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hot hands. Here, through these lines, the wants to convey the message that actually when we will be having these kind of peace of mind, this time actually, and then only we'll be able to look at ourselves. Actually, right now, nowadays, people are that much in hurry and worry that actually they have not the enough and sufficient time for themselves to take care of themselves even. That's why when it will be quiet, there will be peace, then we will able to look at ourselves. For example, fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hands. Actually, the person who gathers the salt, and in this profession, when actually the hands get hurt, the person has no idea even about this injury, and that's why when everything will be still, stable, quiet, so at that time it would be possible that a man who gathers the salt, the man will be able to look at his hurt hands. At that time the person will realize about the injury, about this hurt hands. And even the fisherman in the cold sea would not harm whales, because see, the profession of fisherman, okay, hunting the fishes. So if there is no profession, means stopping the profession for some time, it is stable, stop, and everything is quiet. So in the result, fishermen also cannot harm the whales. Fishermen also cannot harm the creatures living inside the area of sea. So this is, keeping quiet is ultimately helpful for the whole world. So here, through these lines, the poet wants to convey this message of peace, that all the people have this right of having peace of mind, still and stable. So this is actually the theme of this poem. Students, the further discussion of this poem we will make in the next video lecture. So students, suppose you find any kind of difficulty, any query, you are free to ask me anytime. Your today's homework is, you have to write down the think of you read, that the before portion, the beginning portion in this poem. This is your today's homework. Okay? That poem, this stanzas that we discussed today, that portion you have to read, and afterwards you will complete your homework. I want to show you, yeah, before you read this question, you have to write down this answer and also the central idea, the theme of this poem. These things you have to note down in your fair. Okay, suppose you find any kind of difficulty, you can ask me anytime. Okay, thank you students. Have a nice day.